We're going to start with our Mrs. Maryland Ambassador, Nadine Jones. Nadine, your question. How would you describe beauty?
I would describe beauty in multiple different ways. Beauty comes in many different forms. For me, what beauty means is being your authentic self, knowing who you are, standing up for who you believe in, and always fighting for those who are less vulnerable and can't fight for themselves. That's beauty to me.
Thank you, Nadine. Mrs. Maryland Ambassador. Mrs. Prince George's County, Maishiana Hunter. Maishiana, where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I would like to have served as Mrs. Maryland America and had the opportunity to serve the communities that mean so much to me. I'd like to be active in the community and continue to be a pillar within the corporate community advocating for women's rights. I'd also like to start a nonprofit foundation dedicated to my platform, COPE, creating opportunities for post-secondary education and success. Thank you.
Prince George's County, Vaishiana Hunter. Mrs. Western Maryland, Judith Kinney. Name one thing you'd like to change about your state and why.
Do roads count? I would primarily like to focus on, I know Maryland has a lot of rural areas, lots of low-income families that don't realize some of the resources and support that they have. That would definitely be where I would start. I think that if we were able to advocate more for low-income families and really reach out to the rural areas and offer them the resources that they have available for them, we can offer so many more opportunities, both educationally, in the healthcare field, mental health, and just so many aspects.
Thank you. Western Maryland, Judith Kinney. Annapolis, Marla Henderson. If you had one wish, how would you use it and who would you use it for?
Well, the obvious answer is world peace, of course. But I think if I had one wish, I would wish that we all had our mothers still. I lost my mother back in 2011, and I wish I had more time with her.
Thank you so much. Annapolis, Marla Henderson. Baltimore County, Kima Levine. Tell us about a situation where you overcame a fear or an obstacle.
Well, I'm here. So I was afraid, well, essentially I'm afraid to get in front of people. You would never guess, but I'm terrified of getting in front of people and just being out and, just being vibrant all the time. So I decided to do this pageant so that I can push myself and take, just like get myself to the next level and do something that I was absolutely afraid to do. So that's me.
Thank you. Kima Levine, Baltimore County. Frederick County, Sylvia Escobar. How would you define success?
Success is what you believe you have accomplished and you feel good about it and you're happy with what you have accomplished.
Thank you. Frederick County, Sylvia Escobar. Chevy Chase, Mrs. Helen Meister. would you choose popularity or quiet success, and why?
Popularity, or the option is quiet success. I would choose quiet success. I work backstage as a fashion producer, and most of my time I'm actually not on stage. I trend model, and I'm sitting backstage. I think it's more important to be nice than popular, and I also think that as title holder we have to be. As title holder, we have to be sort of successful because we are successful women and we are leader, but we have to also be humble. And I think that my way would be quiet.
Thank you. Mrs. Chevy Chase, Helen Meister. Mrs. Georgetown, Lauren Kuiper. What life advice would you give your younger self?
I would give my younger self the same advice that I've given my son, and that would be that you always have the power to control your destiny, and there is nothing in this world that you cannot do. When you start something, you finish it, and you never give up. Thank you.
Lauren Kuiper, Mrs. Georgetown. Mrs. Northwest, Tamika Young. Name 3 qualities that make up a good queen that you would want to pass on to younger generations.
Confident, strong-willed, and kind.
Thank you, Tamika. Mrs. Northwest. Ruth Castro, Mrs. Pentagon. With social media being such a huge influence in our lives today, how will you use it to empower yourself and the women that follow you?
Great question. I would use social media how I currently use it by posting a lot of positive posts, my involvement within the community, including my family. I think that with social media right now and a lot of young minds that are influenced, it's very important for us to have that positive atmosphere for them to be able to look forward to and to be able to emulate.
Ruth Castro, Mrs. Pentagon. Lily Rivera, Miss Georgetown. What does it mean to be your authentic self?
Well, first of all, good evening, everyone. I think that being your most authentic self is just always being true to yourself, doing what makes you feel good, what comes from your heart, what is from you naturally, not trying to be like anyone else or trying to pretend, but being true to yourself. Thank you.
Lily Rivera, Miss Georgetown. One more round of applause for all these amazing ladies. I assure you that is not easy.